For a long time, I lived in a place of silence, even when the world around me was loud. I smiled when people looked, nodded when they spoke, and laughed at the right moments. But inside, I felt empty. That emptiness was my depression. At first, I didn't even realize what it was. I thought I was simply tired, or maybe just weak. Every morning I woke up with a heavy chest, as if I was carrying a weight that nobody could see. I lost interest in things I once loved. Music sounded flat. Food had no taste. Conversations felt like noise. I asked myself many times, why do I feel this way? And slowly, I began to uncover the reasons. I realized that my depression was not only about sadness, it was about disconnection from myself, from others, and from life. I had spent years trying to meet expectations that were not truly mine. I compared myself to people on social media, to classmates, to colleagues. I always felt less successful, less beautiful, less capable. The more I compared, the deeper I fell into that dark hole. Another reason was silence. I never spoke about my feelings. I thought people would not understand, or worse, that they would judge me. So I locked my pain inside, pretending I was fine. But locked pain always finds a way to grow. It grew into depression. Turning point. One night, I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, feeling completely broken. I thought, if life is going to be like this forever, then what's the point? And that question scared me. It was the moment I realized I had to fight. Because the thought of losing myself completely was even more painful than the depression itself. I didn't find a magic cure. I didn't wake up one day suddenly healed. But I began small. And those small steps saved me. How I escaped. I accepted the truth. The first thing I did was stop denying it. I admitted to myself, yes, I am depressed. Yes, I am struggling. That acceptance was painful but freeing. When you name the monster, it becomes less scary. I started moving. My body felt heavy, but I forced myself to take short walks. Just 5 minutes outside, breathing fresh air, feeling the sun on my face. Slowly, the walks became longer. Movement gave me energy, and energy gave me hope. I wrote down my thoughts. Every night, I opened a notebook and poured my feelings onto the page. I wrote about my fears, my anger, my sadness. Sometimes I cried while writing. But after the tears, I felt lighter. Writing became my private therapy. I reconnected with myself. Instead of comparing myself to others, I asked, what do I truly want? What makes me feel alive? I returned to drawing, something I loved as a child. I wasn't great at it, but it made me feel joy. That joy became my medicine. I changed my perspective. Depression had taught me something important. I was living for approval, not for purpose. I realized that happiness doesn't come from perfection. It comes from growth, from effort, from small victories. Why I had depression. Looking back, I see depression as a signal, not a failure. It was my mind's way of saying, you cannot continue living this way. Something must change. I was depressed because I ignored my own needs, because I carried unspoken pain, because I believed lies about not being enough. Depression was like a teacher, though a very cruel one. It showed me that pretending to be strong is not the same as being strong. Real strength comes from honesty, vulnerability, and persistence. Who I am now today, I am not the same person. I still have difficult days, but I no longer see myself as broken. I see myself as someone who survived, who rebuilt from nothing. I learned that healing doesn't mean you erase all pain. Healing means you create space for light, even when darkness is still there. Healing means you choose to keep moving forward, step by step, even when your legs are shaking. My message to you, if you are in that dark place now, I want you to know, you are not weak. You are not alone. Depression doesn't mean you are broken, it means you are human, carrying pain that is too heavy to carry alone. Start small. Take a walk. Write your feelings. Breathe deeply. Talk to someone you trust. Do not wait for a perfect day to begin healing. The perfect day is today. I chose to fight. I chose to rise. And if I can escape the silence of depression, so can you. Because the truth is, the light was always inside me. I just needed to believe it enough to find my way back.